Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. This then is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Hallowed is not a common word. And honestly, outside of this very famous prayer, the only other place in culture that I could think of that it's commonly used is on that last day of October, Halloween, which, believe it or not, actually could kind of point us to what this really means. So, what's this word even mean? Well, the definition of hallowed is that it's an adjective, so it describes a noun, and it means made holy, or that it describes something that is to be revered and honored. It's something to be set apart. It's holy. It's hallowed. The original holiday of All Saints' Day was called All Hallows, and it has its roots in Christians remembering the faithful that had come before them who had died and celebrating the legacy of their faith that they left behind. All Hallows Eve was the day before, which has morphed into our modern day Halloween, which has been corrupted to be a celebration of death and dying and darkness. But its reality is its roots were actually the opposite. They were celebrating the life that someone left behind. But the idea is still there. It was a day each year that was set apart from all the other days to remember. God's name is set apart from all other names. It is something that we should revere and honor. It's a name to be remembered. It's a name that's not like any other name. It's to be set apart. It's to be special. But unfortunately, many people don't approach the name of God like that. It should be set apart and honored in anything but casual. But today, his name is used as a curse, and it's used casually, and it's never often used in reverence, and it's often missed. I remember when I was in grade school, we would always address our teachers by Mr. and Mrs. and by their last name. And oftentimes, as a young child, we would try to guess or even imagine what their first name could be. And as a young student, there was no possible way I could even imagine addressing a teacher so casually as by their first name. And even years later, you know what this is like. As an adult, you bump into your former teacher, you don't dare call them by their first name, even though they would welcome it. We showed respect to our teachers by the way we handled their names. We weren't so casual as to call them by something less than their position demanded. In our prayers to God, we must hold that same respect about who God is and hold the fact that we can address him directly with the understanding of exactly who he is. We don't do this because God requires it of us, but we do it because of what it does to our hearts. When we are careful to hallow the name of God, how much more careful will we hallow his words, his plans, and his mission for our life? So as we pray, we must remind ourselves prayer is a tool for God to shape us into who he's created us to be. We must hallow his name so that we can make and reflect his name to all people.